What's up, guys? Welcome to B18b Engines. So, there's a lot of chatter on that last video I put out there. So I wanted to show you guys a little something. See, guys, I already have it. I used it. Like I said in the video when I was making it, that was more of a bullshit video just to show you guys what's up. But I guess that just goes to show that I guess we are having a fairly new amount of people coming up that didn't see it because I didn't bother to tag that in the cards at first. Simply because of the fact that I thought that everybody was gonna get tired, because that was the third video out of all those shits that I made stripping the valve covers. Now, I'll show you real quick for those guys that didn't see it. That day, I also stripped and painted both of those. I did 4 to 1 whack by, the VTEC valve covers do take a lot more to strip, guys. The Doc VTEC ones, they're a pain in the ass. They take forever. And the spray on fucking shit is much easier to use than this. But because I knew I had a lot, I got that one because that can last a lot longer. But it doesn't work quite as good as the spray on shit does. It's more difficult because I gotta spread it out and all that bullshit. So yeah, no guys, I mean I didn't strip those valve covers of paint just by hand and those little tools. I didn't do that. What I was trying to do was get that last little bit off with those little brushes and shit for the drill, because I'd already put aircraft remover on that shit like 16,000 times. Only slightly exaggerating there, guys. I used them multiple times, and I was spreading it on, and scrubbing it off, and spreading it on, scrubbing it off. Yes, I was letting it sit, but it still wasn't coming off fast enough for my liking, so I decided to stop wasting this and start using the little ones. Anyway, I swear to God, this isn't clickbait. This really is an engine build video. See here, I got my stack of rods in here on the side. If you watch the other video I put up there, I'll leave a link in the cards, that piston pressing. I did go ahead and take off the rest of the fucking pistons, even though I was going to get lazy and not do it. And I had to swap blocks up, because I had to take that one off so I can put that one back on. And we're going to get to that in a second. But first, got to clean these caps off. See, this is looks like we're going to wind up stealing those fucking rod caps anyway, simply because of the fact that I was supposed to take that block over there, that one. I was supposed to take that with me to work the other day to get that crank out of there or to crack that crank bolt loose, so that way I could clean up that block. But I didn't do that. And even though I did upload on days I wasn't scheduled to, it kind of like stole my oomph for the weekend, and I wasted a lot of time this weekend, and I don't have time to clean and prep that one, even if I had taken the crank out. So that means I'm going to go back to my initial idea, and I'm just going to use the main bolts out of that other block, and because that crank is garbage, and so that way we can be expedient here. Because if I go ahead and bolt this crank in tonight, which I plan on doing, the only thing I have left to do is to press those, clean the B16 pistons, press them on to these rods, and then slap them in the block, and then the short block is done. And I don't see any reason to go any further with that, because I would like to see that mounted on with a VTEC head mounted on it. I'm not going to put a VTEC head on it because I'm not buying one. But I'll leave it on the side, wrapped up nice and ready to go in case somebody wants to buy it. Or if not, it sits there for a very long time until how many moons ever pass. And maybe I'll decide to put a B18 head on it and run non-VTEC high compression. I've wanted to do that for a while. So, maybe it's possible. Alright, here. I'm not going to put these here mains in the wash tank. I don't feel like fucking with propel power tonight. So I'm just going to give them the old WD-40 work over. anyway, I guess I'll give you all a little speech right here, right now. For you new guys, this channel has evolved quite a bit since I started. Mainly because of you guys, your input here and questions. I'm sorry, by the way, I am sorry if I come off as a bit sarcastic and shit sometimes. That's just, you know, my shitty personality. But but y'all's input has led me to change the way I do things, has, you know, changed my format here a little bit compared to what I used to do with engine builds. And shit, I don't have anything to wipe this dry. Oh yeah, I do. So I do appreciate y'all's feedback. I've gotten like 3 video ideas in the last couple of days from just y'all's comments, and that's all going to be coming here soon. But I just wanted to address the a lot of, I guess as this channel grows, you know, like I knew was going to happen eventually, that there's going to be a lot of bad mouth people that are going to pop up, because I don't do it, though I don't do engine building the way most people think it needs to be done. And I don't frankly care about what they think it needs to be done. I will go ahead and make me an origin video of how I got to doing this and all this shit and why I do what I do. Eventually. Soon, hopefully. But anyway, this is well, the shit that I do is proven. I mean, I have a playlist of some of the higher horsepower cars that I've done, and that's not even all of them. You know, you guys would be fucking surprised how difficult it is for me to get people to send me footage. Like, you'd think that would be something that they'd be pumped up to see, you know, their car on YouTube making all kinds of power and stuff. But it's not the case. Even close friends don't seem to want to send me any fucking street footage. Hey, give me a 60-second pull. Got you. Never happens. And I'm, by the way, if any of you guys are out there with my builds that are happy to watch this right now, I'm not saying this to nag on y'all. I'm sure you have your reasons. But anyway, I'm just saying that I have plenty of engines out there that are running long-term successfully. I'll say it once, and I'll say it again. That engine that I gave away to a friend of mine in Orlando who fell victim to Honda thieves, this guy had the car running for like a month and then drove it from Orlando to fucking El Paso, drove on it there, drove it back. And tried and true methods, the same shit that I've always done, you know. I've had a fudge up before. I've had, you know, a block that smoked because in my early days of doing this shit, I thought I could get away with reusing rings, and I learned that embarrassing way that I couldn't. So I don't do that anymore. But I corrected that issue and in less than 24 hours, and I went back to the guy, and he boosted it. One of my first after build reviews was based on that engine. All right, so I've never tossed a rod on a block. Never caught a rod knock. I'm not saying that it's impossible to fucking blow up one of my engines, because I'm sure somebody can. It's possible. 90% of engine failures are based on driver mistakes. But I'm just saying that it's not like I build an engine and it knocks on startup or has problems with startup. It's my engine that I built for myself. It went to the dyno, suffered a beating there before it got stolen. I don't know what happened to that after that. Then, of course, my homeboy, who's touched on 500 horsepower with his stock sleeves LSV that I built with used parts, including used bearings. You know, so there's a lot, you know, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. If you feel more comfortable doing the machine shop and cutting up your blocks and taking it to somebody who says they're going to blueprint it for you and all that shit and balance everything, that is fine. What I am showing you guys is that you don't have to do all that shit, and you can make a long-running, healthy engine. It can be done. Yeah, that's it. Because there's some people come out of nowhere and talking mad shit about how I do things. That's gets to be expected. I kind of want that low-key fame. I want that like C-list celebrity fame. I want to be popular enough to where I can, you know, get shit done or complete my goals. But I don't want to be too popular where everybody's looking. This channel is definitely for you beginner guys, or for maybe you guys who know what you're doing but just want to have some fun watching some bullshit. I guess maybe I'm entertaining. I want to be able to have fun with you guys. So yeah. I got respect for all those people who go through all the blueprinting and all that shit. I mean, that's great, but that's just, I don't think it's going to be something for me. Maybe someday, but not anytime soon. Look at that. Ah, shit, can't look at it because this fucking phone sucks. Huh. Yeah. It's clean. Yeah, so that's another thing too. A lot of you new guys don't think that I only have 1 or 2 engine building videos. I have plenty more. I think the fucking count on the playlist is like 20 something, 23 or 24. Probably gonna be 23 or 24 after this. Yes, those videos don't have step by step like what I'm doing nowadays, but they're still chock full of information. Like I still explain how to ring pistons and all that shit and all that stuff on those videos, and I talk about the things that I find while I'm doing the build, and it's a surprise. A lot of every one of those fucking blocks or every one of those engines I put together had a surprising amount of shit I ran into. So those videos are short, so you think that more you guys would be more inclined to watch those, but it doesn't seem to be the case. But anyway, those videos can be somewhat helpful, even if they're not in the best quality or whatnot, because I had shitty cameras and didn't realize the mistakes I was making while I was uploading. But the shit there still can be helpful for you guys. Also, I'd like to repeat again that for you new guys here coming, that if you send me messages and shit, and I don't answer you right away, and I do answer you with like a YouTube link, it's just watch the video and then come back and talk to me again. I'm not trying to brush you off. I want to talk to you. I just would like for you to catch up on the information that I've already put out. So I don't have to tell you again. I don't mind sharing my info with you guys, but I do mind telling you all the same shit again over and over and over. And it's getting even more so happening. It's happening more so because the fact that the channel is growing at a steadier pace, at a higher pace, at a rate that it was before. So a lot of you guys watch a video or two and hear me say, talk to me if you want, which is still the case. And then right away ask questions without going through my channel. I've looked at a lot of people's channels. I've looked at a lot of other automotive guys too. And there's a lot of dudes out there that are very disorganized on the channel page itself. They don't really have any playlists. They just jumbled all up all over the place, disorganized. And again, I'm not knocking anybody else, to each his own, but I'm a little bit neater. I've gone through great lengths to make sure I organize all the video playlists and label it so that way you know exactly what you're getting into. And I put all of them from top to bottom, being on the ones I think are the most important. So you guys will be doing me a huge favor and making me happy, because I put a lot of work into it, to be going through and checking my playlist, especially the Beginner's Guide to Turbo, because that is, all those videos are my most frequently asked, and 98% of y'all's questions are answered there. And also too, if you come new to the channel and you're like, well, I already watched the video. Well, if you already watched the video and you're asking me the exact same question that's answered on the video, I'm going to tell you to watch it again and then talk to you. I want you to hear everything I have to say on those before talking to you again about it. And that just falls in line with what I've been already said. It's fun talking to you guys, but it's not fun talking to you guys about the same shit over and over again. So, on the other video, or one of my other uploads recently, I talked about the idea of a live stream. And it was kind of like spontaneous because I wasn't planning on talking about that or anything. It just so happened to come to my mind while I was making that particular video. And so So what do you guys think about that, huh? Y'all want like a live stream Q&A or something? Maybe if I can get enough of you guys to respond on that, shoot me ideas. Maybe we can plan something like that for one of these weekends coming, and we can give it a try and see how that works. I wouldn't be against it. Although I'd have to go out, I'm thinking, buy another fucking camera for the computer. So I'm not trying to live stream on a cell phone. It is gross. These mains have sat gunked up for a long time. But you can see they're already starting to clean up real well. And all that good stuff. Just going to clean out the tunnels here a little bit so I don't cack up my motherfucking main bolts. Shit, if I was trying to be quick, man, that crank would already be in the fucking block. And I would have told you guys peace already so I can go do my workout and go to sleep. But no. I'm trying to do the right thing. Yeah, this is the shit that goes on forever, man. It takes fucking forever. Look at this. We're running on a quarter hour. And all I'm doing is standing here fucking cleaning these things. It's definitely like a zen type shit, man. Like building engines, you want to be in a place that's quiet, or if it's not quiet, you know, in a place that's playing some music that nobody's gonna bother you. So you can just have your peace time while you're doing this. No, this is not a normal thing, honestly. The whole thing with the main bolts normally don't happen that way. I think this is just because this particular set of mains kind of like sat out in the open a little bit too long. Yeah. Normally, it'd just be dirty oil, and it wouldn't be too much buildup to have to worry about anything. All right, it's good enough. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna take a little break here. So I'm gonna have to stand around the camera. I think I'm going to come back in here when I'm placing the bearings in. And then it won't be much longer after that. It's going to be real quick to wrap this things up. All right, guys. Back in a minute. Okay, so you can't see 100% of the journals here. But you can see enough of the important ones to know what I'm doing here. All right. Okay, so alright, so the thrust washers. Probably mentioned this already in the last video I did, or the last segment I did for this, which I think was the honing part. But just in case you missed that and you're jumping straight to this one, these are the bearings I generally tend to be used recently. I think I've done the last like 3 or 4 rebuilds with them. They're nothing that you would recognize from forums, but they're tried and true. And that same B18 engine block I told you about that ran from Orlando to El Paso and back and still running, I use these bearings for that. And I'll leave also a link up here for the B16 is making over 400 horsepower. I use these bearings for that. I didn't discriminate too much at the beginning. I just kind of grabbed whatever was in the price range I was used to. I used to be exclusive on that ACL shit just because that's what everybody wanted to see. And I'm not discrediting ACL or anything, but I'm just saying that you don't have to use ACL. But if you do want to know a better brand, I'd recommend ACL bearings or Kings. Kings bearings are also just fine. Okay, so now let me see this one. All right, so you match up. Fuck, man, this no autofocus thing sucks penis. You see that little tang right there? You match that tang up with the groove in the block. And I'm hoping this camera's close enough for you guys to see it. Maybe I can go down. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is a good enough view. If you don't think this is a good enough view, the next time around I'm doing another engine, you can comment and I'll lower the stand. So that way it's kind of like perpendicular with the block and you can see everything. But I think this is fine. It's good enough to be able to see everything. All right, so tang in the groove, roll it in, and then you give it a little nudgy just to slide it in place. All right, and also too, you want these right here, these bearings, the main bearings with the groove in them, are the ones that you go in here, kind of get the oil and hole in there. It's kind of straightforward. You match it up. All right, so all the block bearings, block side mains are in. I've been using this engine assembly lube. The one, if you watch my older shit, you'll see I have a really big bottle. And I had that from the Kenworth dealership I used to work at, or used to work, not worked. God, I sound like a piece of shit. Anyway, I don't really like this engine lube. Simply because of the fact that it has that skinny ass neck on it. Yeah. But anyway, I don't really think it's super something you have to worry about a particular brand if engine assembly lube. I mean, honestly, the engine assembly lube is just there to make sure that you're not spinning that shit dry. I mean, you are going to have oil in the engine when you turn it on. This is just for that first couple seconds that it's running, so you don't damage the bearings at all. All right, so these are your thrust washers. That little groove faces outward from the block, all right? So see the groove? You're gonna put it like that. Groove outside, not inside. You blow your motor like that. Yeah, it's that serious. So don't fuck that up. Now to get that shit to stay in place, you can either run a line of assembly lube on this, or you could put some on your finger and dab it in place. Personally, I used to prefer to like to put it on my finger and dab it in place, but you know, skinny ass neck, so yeah, see. Yeah, you don't have to worry about smearing it, because once you push it on there, it's going to smear all by its lonesome. Now, as far as the bearing goes, the bearings, I do like to smear them in there. Get your smear on. That's because the old guru who taught me how to build engines, you know, that was his little thing. And I show my respect for my teachers for the most part and follow what I've been told. Oh, anyway, so you guys have heard me say a bunch of times, I'm self-taught, which is true. I'm not lying on that. I'm not saying teacher this and then self-taught that. I taught myself how to do all this Honda shit. And well, I got into engines before, on my own time, before I professionally did one. Then, of course, when I professionally did one, I was like a Cummins ISX. If any of you guys know about semi trucks or whatnot, when I was working at the fucking Kenworth dealership, where the pistons were like yay big, and the rods were the size of my arm. I think I have some on my Facebook if any of you guys are interested in seeing that shit, or you can just Google it. But anyway, they're huge, and of course, whether I was going to tell this guy or not, I was his apprentice at the dealership at the time, so I wasn't going to tell him, bro, I already know how to do this. So I shut up and I listened, and he was like, dabby, dabby, dabby. Just get it all in there. Make sure everything's got something on it. But yeah, so I actually did that build myself. I mean, he walked me through where he thought I needed to be walked through at, but that engine was mostly put together by me. And it took 5 working days. Although it probably could have gone a little faster, but I had to go at Trqing Mains pace. But anyway, that shit sucked. It wasn't very fun. I mean, the block was okay, but putting the head on those fucking engines sucks fucking dick. There's just so much shit that goes on one of those things, man. It's no fun. Yeah, don't want to do that again. So... shit. Normally, I guess I could. Well, anyway, normally I build these engines right next to the table, so I have that table to stack all my shit on. But I decided to park it under here under the light, try and get it directly under it to get the best lighting tonight, guys. Anyway, it's gonna be hard to do a little bit of extra back and forth. Okay, so your main caps are numbered 1 through 5, and they also have the arrow on there, and the arrow points towards timing. So, plus you also got, just like the rods and pistons and rods, get the tang groove there, and you just match those up. And you can actually even see it. Well, I don't know how well you guys can see it. You probably can't see it very well. But it's kind of faint, but seeable. You can see on the block the indentions from where that groove, or the impression that it used to made sitting in that spot. Alright, so you see, flat, no hole, no groove bearing, flat, no hole, no groove main cap. Same thing for the block, you just pop it in there, roll it in place. Oh shit. Wipe my dirtiness. Fuck. And it looks like I put the fucking cap on prematurely. I don't know why I did that. Holy fuck, I didn't even put the goddamn crank in yet. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so let me do that real quick. Fucking A. Getting all ahead of myself and shit. Been sitting out exposed and shit, so I was doing that last minute dust wipe down before setting it in place. You gotta be careful to not knock out your fucking thrust washers. Oh, Jesus. Hope my shoulder wasn't blocking that the whole time. Yeah. Now we can go back and put the caps on. Okay, it's cap. Got the line of lube. Boom. Real quick, lubed up. Normally I'd already have the bolts and shit ready to go. I'd be sitting in the cap still. But those bolts are still sitting in those caps over there. So I gotta grab those in a minute. Anyway, I figure I'll go ahead and do this shit first. Let's see if I can speed things up. It's getting fucking late. I fucking work tomorrow morning. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to go ahead and put all the fucking bearings in place. And then I'll come back in a minute, lube them all up. Anyway, now you can see, guys, why I cut away so much while I'm doing these builds. Even after I started, even after doing these, like, really in-depth ones, it's just because of the fact that there's so much idle time in between all the fucking steps. So, it's just like, oh, man. It's to sit here, like, I had one guy once, I don't remember which one you were. My bad for that. But one of you guys, like, live stream the build. There's no way in hell that you guys would actually sit through that. Or maybe like 3 or 4 of you guys would. But I come out here and I spend hours at a time. Even on some of these videos where it's like 8 minutes long, I'll be out here for like fucking 2 hours. There's never a time I come out here and I don't spend at least an hour and a half at minimum. And that's like lightning fast times. This shit is just super fucking tedious. Super tedious. I'm not saying I don't mind it or anything. Obviously, I do this shit a lot. But then you have nights like this where now I'm doing this for you guys, doing it for the channel. That even if I would rather not come out here and do it, I still find myself doing it. This is that way I can keep my word. Fuck. Alright, now I can cap up this fucking lube. We're almost home free. I'm gonna be torquing here in a second. It's gonna be done. I mean, speaking of, look at this fucking shit. I think this video is gonna be like an hour long. And all we're doing here tonight is putting the fucking crank in. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing this, I just want to make sure that these caps are as close to 100% flush as possible. So that way, there's a lot less likely of a chance that it's going to throw off my fucking torque reading. Okay. I just got told the other day that I was a good neighbor. I hope I'm not waking anybody up. Shit. For the bolts, unless you're working with ARPs, then you use ARP juice. But if not, you're using standard OEM. Get yourself a bottle of 10W30. And once again, brand is not important. Some 10W30. You can dunk your bolts in. And just wiping them down, just decrease the chance of any boogering up in the on here. And I'm gonna have to go back and pluck them out one more time again, so I can dunk them in the oil. Dunk them in the oil. Fact. Well, there's a good chance that the next time I do a B-Series build, I'm not going to go through as many steps as this. I'll probably show like one or two of the steps, just like the first part of it, and just skip away, just so that way this shit doesn't ever get redundant. But, yeah, so you guys get to see this one time, and then I get to forever tag people in the video when they ask for a B-Series build. Hopefully the next time you're seeing a B-Series build on this channel, it will be a forged one. Maybe I'll overpay for a B18 crank from eBay or something, and I'll get some forged goodies and make a monster build. Alright, shit, so that's done. Getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now, you want these to be like hand tight when you go to start. Or actually, probably, no. Let's see. A little speed trick. Now, I'm not actually putting any strength on this. Oh shit, that one did. Anyway, I'll back that off. This is just to get them down in there. I'm not actually trying to put any kind of strength or pressure on it. All right, so what you want is, you want to be all the way to the point where you got to put any more you go is pressure. All right. And that one, like the one you heard me hit earlier, back that off a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Now, it's firmly in place, so the cap should be all seated, so when I go to torque, you know, they're already making flush contact with the block. There you go, you fuck. Fucking hide, bro. Alright. Got my trusty torque wrench. Adapter. Socket. Okay. Sweet. I just happened to land. No. Okay, so torque specs for the B18b or A are 22 foot-pounds and then 56 foot-pounds. You do all your torquing in sequences. Tighten it this way and then you tighten it again. That's for your final one. I'll leave the link in the description. It's in the fast lane. That's where I get all my B-series torque specs. All right, now, so when you're torquing, it should be snug, and you want to slowly pull until you hear the click. You don't want to like crank it and shit because that'll throw off your reading. So you just pull. Till it clicks. All right, 56 foot-pounds. Or pound-feet, whichever the fuck you want to go by. More torque, louder click. Ta-da! That only took forever. All right. So, that's it, guys. That's locking in the heart of the block. You should be able to spin it exactly like this is. It should be no real resistance. Easy spinning both ways. And, all right. So, here's that. Hope this is helpful for you guys. Hope you're getting some out of this. My late night engine building shenanigans. Alright guys, damn, I'm fucking tired. So, if you liked anything in the video that you saw, you think this is helpful in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Channel's real small still. Thumbs ups and all that good stuff and activity helps YouTube spread the word and spread the videos around. Helps us grow. Also, if you're new, like I said earlier in the video, I have a lot of playlists that kind of covers a lot of this shit. You know, so check in after the video is done. Go click on VHP Engine somewhere in the bottom of the video. Go to the actual channel page and just scroll up and down and take a look at the playlist and everything that's there. It's all pretty organized, so you don't have to worry about searching too hard. Every topic that you can generally think of is kind of covered. And if you do go through and still can't find anything, hit me up. If I have already talked about it, I will guide you in the right direction. Also, guys, yeah, so if you do find anything helpful here and you want to follow along, get notified for the uploads, just you can subscribe. I upload Sunday through Thursday or something like that. Yeah, Sunday through Thursday. I do engine build videos so far. I'm keeping that on the weekends and doing discussion related videos during the week. If you do have anything that you'd like to see on the channel, drop it in the comments below, and if I feel like I can do something on it and it's useful information, then I'll make a video on it. If I don't make a video on it doesn't necessarily mean your question or your what you want to see isn't good. It just means that it's too short for me to be able to do anything, or I've already covered it. So anyway, you guys, thanks for sticking around for a super long fucking video. Appreciate you guys for watching, and peace. I'll see y'all manana.